Yeah, you listen to the super plays, listen.
Yeah, my tribe of opera mind, so what's happening? Government and all y'all cross the line, so what's happening? My ancestors wouldn't like you cross the line, so what's happening? We original, y'all GMO, y'all lying. I do this for my niche, my niche, my niche, my niche. Oh yeah, my niche, my niche, my niche. I do this for my niche, my niche, my niche, my niche, my niche, my niche, my niche. I do this for my niche. Should've left me where I was, cause I ain't never scared. Took that little ice off my neck for this arrowhead. My nation, my niche, someone thorough said. Real Americans, still pure blood, we thoroughbred. I'm like, let my people go and just take me instead. When it's red or blue pill, I'm only choosing red. I'ma always choose my people, you can keep that bread. Our government owe $1 trillion, you can keep that bread. It's one thing Jim Crow is showing me. I don't want no white folks ruling over me. I don't want no politicians ruling over me. I don't want no po-po ruling over me. Only somebody just like me gon' treat me like me. I'm Iron Cherokee, the chief and Dr. G.L.E. I'm still a G like DST. You might not be as G as me. You think you free, but you need remedy to be as free as me. I'm from the hood, I'm still waking up my people. They got us good, they still hating on my people. When it comes to fashion, the whole world wanna be like us. When it comes to music, the whole world wanna be like us. When it comes to dancing, the whole world wanna be like us. Foreigners are doing everything, trying to weaken us. Sports, y'all can't fuck with us. Rhythm, know we killing y'all. Anything involve a ball. Mentally, we figured out the cosmos. After all inventing shit, we smashing y'all. It's time to take this asking y'all. Rights by blood after all. Vatican and the Smithsonian got all our shit. Artifacts and relics still keeping us away from it. When they say it was a long time ago, that's racist shit. Y'all holy land keep stolen shit. We don't need y'all holding it. Reverse engineering our technology, controlling it. Gave it everything you got, but you can't put no soul in it. I ain't go see the new Matrix cause I'm living it. Everything is not what it seems, but I'm killing it. Can you afford to pay attention who you living with? Now they trying to mandatory vax, but is you getting it? Fall back off my knees, I'm peeping y'all tactics. This ain't no earth war, this shit is galactics. Goddesses and gods warming up like practice. We gon' put arrows on your chest like that. Mongoloids can't style like us, them fake natives ain't wild like us. They ain't got a soul, destiny as a child like us. Nobody power like us, nobody peace pipe like us. Boxing, y'all can't fight like us, nobody lost their white like us. Wake them up,
I'm so dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open the man pants, they go in the town homes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. God's children, give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God and Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turn on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of angels, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Tell you what the slave.
DJ Super Blaze. It's in the mix.
Hey, y'all, shut up. Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, how I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They do math to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this my definition. If being savage was our nation, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the God to the gate. So when they say they fear God, now you know what they made. shoot some, move some, shoot some, move some.
Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Shoot some, move some, shoot some, move some.
Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Every day my niggas dying, they don't know the truth. How the hell you close to God, we don't know it's you. Yo, how the hell you supposed to survive, we don't know the shoot. He should've died, you let him slide, cause he look just like you. I tried to tell him all skin ain't kin. Everybody ain't your partner, everybody ain't your friend. How the hell they supposed to help when they the ones that put you in? They don't struggle how we struggle, they can't get it how we live. Can't be scared to die when we already dead. Either way, your life is stake, no matter how you play it. My higher self said we should choose remain godly. My lower want these motherfucking bodies. They betray their circles like a motherfucking island. Take them to the south, they put them down like OG Bobby. They don't want equality in this club, they want these problems. Killers right beside me, stand full of chicken models. Shoot some, move some, shoot some, move some.
Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Shoot some, move some, shoot some, move some.
Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Who they think they better than? Ain't no comparison to the so-called black or African American. You can drop the African, keep the American. When we say Aborigine, it make the world end. Fire! DJ Super Blaze is in the mix. Who they think they better than? Ain't no comparison to the so-called black or African American. You can drop the African, keep the American. When we say Aborigine, it make they world in. I'm going in the same dirt my ancestors buried in. I come from a god and a goddess, so what that make me? Not even Basquiat can trace me. Not even Van Gogh can paint me. The MC in me is the God MC. Equals the God in me. I'm focused in, let my mind be free. You too blind to see. The Jews I give is real. It's been real. These ain't shots, they missiles. All you gonna hear is the whistle. Lyrically, this the execution. My verses start revolutions for my people seeking restitution. Since the beginning, fuck evolution. Or maybe my reality is all a dream. I put it together like I was so it seems. So it seems this is that audio dopamine. Go against the machine. We put you where nobody can hear you scream. And sing you to meet your Elohim. My nigga, this is savage mode. It's something that you can't decode. It started with a spark and I'ma let it explode. I was given the cheat codes that'll let me dump and reload. And go through them waves like a fucking torpedo. You dealt the cards of life. I just cut them diamonds with the ace of spades. Y'all scatter like roaches when they facing raid. Or vampires when they facing blade. I'm trying to get extra terrain like I'm getting played. You still stuck as a mental slave. You still stuck in that mental cage. While I'm making easy money, pipping holes in style. This my coming to age. Crowd warm when I'm coming on stage. And when I'm done, they gonna be cheering my name. Drake Cobbs and nah, I ain't quit my day job. I spit bars. I really rap on my day off. That's real shit. Just give you some tools you can build with. Aim high even if you still miss. Just keep going. It's a climb to the top. And I'ma keep flowing. Down Lake Shore, I'm Chicagoan. Yeah.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Yeah, this the one right here. You said you wanted to leave, but you forgot to leave my keys. Oh, you must have thought I forgot. No, you could go ahead, you could keep those rocks. When shit got hot, you said everything that I did to the cops. You were supposed to be my bottom. Now shit critical, spot 'em, got 'em. I remember way back, we used to hit the I-9 listening to my rhymes. Used to love my raps and hide the gas for me when I hit those traps. Yo, what happened to that? I guess you got what you came for. The money and the range, upgrade from the lanes, but you still rocking the same shit I got you in 04. You called and told me that you wanted to leave, shit dicey now. Everything my girl wear pricey now. Neck icy now, but wanna run around like I'm C now. Using my P now, she wanna get drunk and suck my D now. Drinking Casamigos, she's on all fours and straightening like Migos. Everywhere that we goes, valet, VIP, everything on me. I guess the joke's on me, but I'ma have the last laugh sitting back counting cash. And you can count these memories about the places where we used to be, back where we used to be. You wanna leave, then leave. I know you don't want to, but I ain't gonna hold you.
You called and told me that you wanted to leave, but it seems that you don't want to leave me.
Word clouds, the texts get slower, messages get older, words get spoken, hearts get broken, wounds remain open. Rules we don't abide by remain golden, the risk of unknowing. Sometimes the seeds we sow just ain't growing, but you gotta keep watering, and the sun combined with time will bring order in. And when it does, raise those small roots up, but when it buds, reap that fruit and show nothing but love. That's a law universally from above. Take these jewels and show off at the club, romance and diner. Please let this be your last reminder. Of course it is, a good girl's hard to find, vintage designer.
You called and told me that you wanted to leave, but it seems that you don't want to leave me. Beats, but love to do with you. You got that ooh, babe. Ooh, babe, the way you move. Oh, we gon' do, babe. But love to do with you. Love to do with you.
Yeah, that's all shit, baby. I don't wanna see you go. Just put your hands in mine and we can take it nice and slow. Let me talk to you. You just don't move like these girls. They just can't keep up. I swear my eyes on you. Only you giving me what can't control.
But love to do with you. You got that ooh, babe. Ooh, babe, the way you move. Oh, we gon' do, babe. But love to do with you. Love to do with you.
I'm making my house a home. Can't let me live here alone. My eyes on you, only you. Giving me what can come true. What can come true, my baby.
But love to do with you. You got that ooh,
You got that ooh,
ooh,
you got that ooh,
the way you move. Oh, we gon' do, babe. But love to do with you. Love to do with you.
You know I love to groove with you. You know I love to groove with you.
Yeah, you listening to Super Plays. Let's go.
Still unamalgamated. Heartbeat, the sound of the bass drum. Come with your best shot, I'll take one. Rumble in the jungle, I'm a lion. Stand up for your Messy nation. Hey, for these generations, we the people lost but not forgotten. Tribal rivalry is the problem. One love, the key for what we locked in. Don't call me a doctor, but I will be your medicine man. We're all from the melting pot, so everybody in the crowd is a Native American. Like me, can't you see? The enemy is a L-I-E. One family tree we are. The truth is like smoking Joe, and so far, the bigger they come, the harder they fall. Bring on the giant, I'm ready to brawl. No giving up, flowing in my veins. Like a champion, I feel that I will never surrender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will remain a contender. Born with the soul of a warrior. I rule my dominion. I'm part Asian, Indian, Dominican, back to Hindu, Dravidian, so Mexicano loco, man. Yes, Egyptian fits my description. Yes, I'm training hard for the mission. Yes, I'm a country boy from the south, and mama said knock you out. I'm in the ring like the bigger they come, the harder they fall. Bring on the giant, I'm ready to brawl. No giving up, flowing in my veins like a champion. I feel that I will never surrender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will remain a contender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will. If you're down for one love and one people, let me hear you say, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, hey, hey. One finger in the air, hey y'all, hey y'all. Somebody wanna y'all see me break it down, down. Watch me break it down, down. Watch me break it down. Somebody know that y'all see me break them down, down. Yeah, we break them down, down. Yeah, we break them down. The bigger they come, the harder they fall. Bring on the giant, I'm ready to brawl. No giving up, flowing in my veins like a champion. I feel that I will never surrender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will remain a contender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will stand strong. Hey, I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. School of thought, I was building mounds. All I did was dig. Now I'm building pyramids. Mama, look at what I did. Cut off the leash, took off the hook. The world brainwashed off of just one book. Same book till my mama turn her other cheek. Don't bring me no beats, that shit get cooked. Did my research, found out my worth. Shit, I own everything on earth. That's why the Elohim with the young God like me to cast all cougar rocks, pussy knockers in the dirt. Master ceremony, listen what the God say. Manifest life off of what I say. Bears time D-I-A-Y-A. Pull up the liquor, then I say I shake. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid.
That man, spell is broken, y'all. Take that. See how we gonna do this.
Listen to Super Slaves.
Shit ain't what it seems. Look. This ain't what it seems, this ain't what it seems, this ain't what it seems, this ain't what it seems. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. This ain't what it seems, this ain't what it seems. Life ain't what it seems, life ain't what it seems. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. The spell is broken. Finally we can see. The spell is broken. We free. The spell is broken. Finally we can see. The spell is broken. We free. The spell is broken. Finally we can see. The spell is broken. We free. The spell is broken. Finally we can see. The spell is broken. We free. We just can't let voice be the best. Can't dwell on it cause we manifest. I got tough skin, bulletproof vest. You say you for the people, put you to the test cause the spell is broken. People looking sad, I'm just in my bag. Only time I'm not here is playing tag. We ain't come off of both, they big mad. They ain't give it to a straight zigzag. Get your lick back, say you did that. I once gave a fuck, I had to get it back. Can't get it back, you gotta live with that. The government is crack, get out of here with that. Now we know who we are. They mad, they know we a star. They lied, they owe us a car. Really, they owe us the land. Recruitment, they owe us some bands. Wanna help, you owe us a hand. You silly, I know who I am. I'm an Indian, I don't give a damn. Why take problems with none of the perks? The system ain't broke, we don't know how it works. The ops ain't gon' tease.
Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if we can't.
Turn up.
Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
Bang, bang, bang.
Fire!
Lord knows. Fire, you heard me? Fire. Blaze. Stop a bomb. Give me another bomb. Top fire, you heard me? Lord knows. I'm coming on this side. I'm coming on this side. Shit.
Bang, bang, bang.
No, in real time, peace and Miranda to y'all, though. You already know what it is. It's your boy, Mac Ether. The harsh reality is live life autonomously. That's the campaign. Shout out to the party, the Autonomous Party. Tap in. We're obviously live inside musicmedialounge.com. And, you know, I got my boy Guy the Green, Baron P, Super Blaze. And shout out to the party. You already know what it is. It's a campaign year, campaign 2024. It's April 14th. And obviously our guest is Cheeto Pa. Shout out to Michael Hampton. He was on the flyer. He said he couldn't make it. After, you know, he told me at first some things happened. It's all good. Shout out to him, though. But in a minute, we're going to pull up our guests because me and Pa got a lot we can go into either way. And if anybody wants to pull up, we might decide to let you know, jump into the conversation. You know what I mean? But however, I'm going to play a quick joint and we're going to get straight into it. Blaze, tap in.
Feeling like I'm sorry. I don't need no driver's license. Just a beauty like an assassin. That the ride or die is still the show. You know they try to drown me in Admiralty, but I'm alive, they can't bury me. Now I'm wealthy and scholarly. Walk on the sea like I'm JC. Now I'm doing bigger, better. I'm changing atmospheres. Levitating, the meditation clears the mind. Keep it so clear. Don't you let them use you. Keep your weapon near. Celebration is the only way out here. You gotta be tired of dying and burying people out here. I know it's hard cause they shoot first. They pull up, yeah, they click clack, they do dirt. They go home, then they'll get back. But they can't bother me, nah. Cause I'm not property. This is essential. Yeah, this the mission, yeah. To be free and clear. Living off the laughing like a trillionaire. It's the mission. I ain't gotta care. Living on my dream and killing all the nightmares, yeah. To be free and clear. Living off the left like a trillion. It's the mission. I ain't gotta care. Living on my dream and killing all the nightmares, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you listen to the plays. Let's go.
Every day I wake, I make my mind up. I'ma be the one, be the truth, be the way, yeah. Every day I wake, I make my mind up. Gotta keep my mind on the because they only telling a side of the story.
Turn up in the chat,
like they on more it and pour it. Yeah, they money on phone it. But down here in the hood, yeah, we know Forex. We growing up. Good on the assets, good on my back. Get for the cash before the whole market crash. A news flash, just a blast from the past. We on the smash, be prepared to hit the gas. Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, put your game up. Elevation, alright. We the vibe, blood eye, and we tribal.
Hold on, Blaze. We definitely tribal. You heard me? Hold on, man. Let's give him the bump and get to it, man. We got our guests in the back. We ready to get to it, Blaze. Boy, I could be with you in 30 minutes go by. And I mean, you got to slide. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to hold you. You feel me?
Niggas the top 5 lister, double S drifter, separate sipping, and you know I came with it if she cute with it.
Yo, what check? I don't know, my shit went out though. Can y'all hear me out there in the chat? If not, we're gonna give you the video real quick so I can get my shit right, because I don't know. I think it threw me off for a second. Okay, we good.
This could take quite a bit of time.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke but a pair of races? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments tried to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Esther Lusty. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces the same color the European. Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. But you never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine.
That part. You don't like to be called aborigine. You already know what it is. Maranatha to you. Esther Lusty. I'm Macario. That's who he is. Shout out to all my Esther Lusty. I'm Macario in the building. Maroonville. And these panel discussions, man. You know, the title of this topic, among the other topics that we will be talking about, is the fact that we was having a discussion and we were vibing on, you know, some things I be sharing in Maroonville on Facebook. Shout out to it. You know what I'm saying? Let me hold on, plug this in real quick. And we were really trying to figure out, like, you know, where these things be coming from. So I was like, you know what, we're going to go ahead and have a discussion and we're going to go from there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and let's have a discussion. I shout out to Pa because he saw it. I tagged him to it. You know, Pa got his jokes about it. I already know how that goes. So that's why we titled it, because for anybody that was in the room on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's one of the main things that got some feedback analytically, you know, numbers don't lie. And, you know, that would be like, you know, let's make it a topic to talk about tonight. But before we do that, let's bring up our guest. You know what I'm saying? He's been with us a couple times already. My man, Cheeto Pa. What they do?
Wow, that's Kamuchi. What's happening with you, baby?
What's going on with you?
Not much, man. Just cooling. Just coming to do a drive-by. You heard me pop up. Come on in. Tell a mother, tell a brother, tell your father, tell a friend. You heard me?
Oh,
we in this
what
bitch.
Already know what it is. Man, hey, tell everybody before I forget though, you got some new shit popping. You told them last time you was getting ready to start something. You started it. It's on YouTube and
Oh,
everything. What you got popping? Go ahead.
oh yeah. It's popping like Crisco grease. You heard me. Some of y'all might not know what Crisco is, but yeah, we got the podcast going. You heard me. Southeastern Talking Stick. You know what I'm saying? Go look that up. Like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We dropping real information over there.
For sure. That's what it is. I want to make sure that I, always give a shout out to other folk that's doing their thing and networking and putting out information like how y'all do for me or us on this side of the party. Especially when you reach out to me and tell me, Mac, you shout me out. I appreciate that. I really always try to just promote the party itself. So that's why itself, I appreciate you coming on and vibing with us because of something I'm gonna show tonight, and I'm gonna take you back in history. I'm gonna show you some shit, Pop. You know what I'm saying? I got some shit for you. Okay.
All right. All right.
All right, yo.
Let's go take that ride.
We're gonna take a little ride real quick. You know what I'm talking about? To Monroe.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
We're
already
gonna take a
know.
little ride. We're gonna take a little ride. I tried to get this one thing, and what happened was I come to find out that somebody took it down. So when I tried to bring it up, it was a lady that ended up in court. You know what I'm saying? And she was saying some wild stuff. You know what I mean? Obviously, she's saying that she's a Washita Moore. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me reach out to you and say, yo, Paul, we gotta do. I can't even do the pirate shit first. We need to get this Washita shit now, because this shit right here is getting out of hand. And it's like, how many
Yeah,
times
it's
do we
on
have to tell
TikTok.
folks? You seen it,
It's on
right? You seen
TikTok.
it, that
Yeah,
lady in the
she
oil?
murdered her child. Yeah, she murdered her child. She said she was a Washington Moore.
Yeah, that shit right there, man. Man, that lady right there, man. Oh man, bro. See, that's why people be on extremist lists and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they be
Right,
people like that going around saying crazy shit when they get in court. Like,
right,
so not only did you kill somebody, your own child, by the way, but at the same time, you think you have the authority to do it, and you're gonna put it on a nation that gives you this power to do these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
right.
the craziest thing about it. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, overall, you know what I mean? But pull up the other joint real quick, though. Hold on. People calling me while we live and shit, though. We live, though, man. How you right now? Hold on. I'm waiting for God to pull up the joint real quick, Pop. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, you already know. But yeah, man, they kept on pulling me to come out of retirement. 'Cause I've been on a long hiatus. You know what I'm saying? So we did our third episode last night. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Word.
we 3D in that bitch. So yeah.
That's what's up, though. That's what's up, though. I'm glad you finally, you getting back trying to, do your networking, and because you got, I've been saying this shit to you for a minute now, so I ain't gonna do it to you tonight, dog. I've been dogging you behind the scenes about you
Nah,
not wanting
you
to
can
talk
do it. You
shit,
can do it. You
because it's the
heard it.
truth.
Like you've been told me.
I've been saying
You've
this
been
to
telling
you
me.
from back then. You know what I'm saying? So like, Paul, why are you talking shit, man? Get out there. And come on, man, stop. Well, you gonna talk to me about? You better go talk to these people. We here now, see. So I went in. You see what I'm saying? And now look, I'm gonna bring you on. Now you can't talk no shit because see, now I'm calling you on your shit if you don't show up, type shit. You know what I mean? Because you talked all that shit back then. You feel me? So I
Yeah,
ain't forgot. You know what I mean, God?
yeah,
God, go
yeah.
ahead, and give them the joint, because I gotta go back to Monroe County though. But I'm gonna show this clip real quick. I want you to give me feedback on what this man's saying. We're gonna go through some things. How we do it. You sure you know how we do at the party. Everybody tap in. Go ahead, God, play. Let's play. Ain't got no mic.
In America, if you didn't know, indigenous people are supposed to be tax exempt according to the U.S. Constitution, 14th Amendment, Section 2, if they're operating within their own jurisdiction. So let's do some numbers. The median income for a black family in America is $48,000 a year. Let's say they're paying roughly 20% of that in taxes. That's $9,600. There's approximately 10 to 15 black families in America. So let's take the lower number. Let's take 10 million and multiply that by that 9,600 that's going to taxes, and you get 96 billion. That's $96 billion made every year off the ignorance of our history.
Word. So, you know, that was my Aboriginal Wall Street clip real quick, because the man talked about how much money the black family or the indigenous folk, they label black in America, you know, produce. And boy, let me tell you, boy, jurisdiction wise, boy, but when we got people that's running around doing what Homegirl just did, and I'm gonna show a fella later on as another example that's doing stuff like this. But you know, I want to go to a flyer again. I gotta take you back. It's my no, it's the pop joint that he put out first. Matter of fact, it's correlated to what you had put out earlier on Facebook. See, I be watching. You never know who will be paying attention, right? So this is what you put out on Facebook. I don't want to show thoughts on it. You said you're safe on that road, Duval. You know what I'm talking about? Duval, huh? Yeah, you're going to Duval, Jacksonville. Shout out to Jacksonville. What they do? Pull up. You're going. This is what you put on Facebook earlier, though. Boom. Feel me? Got the
Oh
apartment out
yeah.
there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
So you
that
see,
came from the United Nations when they talk about the Declaration of Rights of the Child.
okay. So when you saw this, and when people talk about the United Nations and the rights of nationality and everything like that, you see a lot of people say a lot of things dealing with nationalities and United Nations and stuff like that. Just like the Washita, they dug the Manya, dealing with United Nations, the seat number, right? You would know because of what the Empress Verdiasi, Brother Joe, the family has been able to do. Before we pull up
Right.
the flyer, matter of fact, right? I just want to show that real quick, let people know children's rights of right to nationality. You want to read anything out of this part that you thought that was interesting, you wanted people to know about, since it's up here before we move it?
Well, I don't have my glasses to see it,
I can read it. Let me
but
make it bigger. Make it bigger, dog.
all right. All right.
I'll read it for you, dog. I got you. All right. You say when they call you black, they are denationalizing you. They had to denationalize those who were enslaved from America and Africa. And now y'all calling yourselves black, which is perpetuating self-genocide and making yourself a stateless person. Also, the laws where y'all live don't care about y'all feelings. Also, y'all cognitive genesis. I mean, I know I said that probably wrong. Genesis, right? I know I said it wrong again. Won't let y'all accept the truth. And this is from United Nations. You know what I mean? Now I slide up a little bit, right? And they're gonna say children's right to nationality. You know what I mean? And you went through, you know what I'm saying? You showed this post right underneath it. And this is what you highlighted though. This is what you wanted to point out right here, right?
Yeah.
Can you make that a little bit bigger, God? For everybody? My cataracts ain't gonna work at that level. I think I'm gonna need glasses soon too. All right, here we go. It says, "Oh, you had it, though. You jumped right back out. You had it, though. You did it on purpose." Now I'm trying to figure out how he went from being so big to being so small, so fast. But I'm not on the board, so I'm gonna be patient. Man, that man is becoming a technician on this bad boy. You heard me?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna make it work. It says the right to nationality for children must, at a minimum, include that every child has a right to nationality in the state of birth if he or she would otherwise be stateless. Article 7, and then comma 2, suggests that the obligation in excuse me, I'm trying to get my eyes right, implement the right to acquire a nationality is particularly important in cases where the child would otherwise be stateless. And it is, moreover, beyond doubt that it is in the best interest of the child not to be stateless. Thus, in order to provide a meaningful right to nationality for children, the committee should stress that states parties must grant their nationality to stateless children born on their territories. This obligation is in line with the regional standards in Europe, Africa, and the Americas. Did you hear me clear? What's your
Right.
thoughts on why you posted this? You want to give the people why you even went to want to post this before we go into the other
The
stuff?
reason why I post, you have a lot of people that they keep saying the word black, 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 and they want to rally behind black. And so, dealing with that, we're dealing with the etymology of the word black comes out to being pale anyway. But if they want to use it as a status, um, nobody wasn't calling themselves black until after the transatlantic slave trade. You know what I'm saying? Or the American Indian slave trade. So therefore, you had international laws back then that protect nationals. So therefore, they had to denationalize you by calling you black so they won't get in trouble. And that's what most people don't understand because even dealing with the black codes, of the 1600s and the 1700s, that was the black laws, the black codes,
Right.
and also dealing with that, cousin Kofi can go ahead on and go to the etymology dictionary and look up second class citizens. You go see what it says
Well, we know second
because
class citizen. Yeah, I mean, because that means
yeah,
you're not.
because
Go ahead.
Yeah, because most people think they are citizens, but yet when you go and look at the United States Constitution, right, they let you know what kind of citizens there are, right? Because in the Constitution and in the amendment, it said to be a citizen of the United States, they had to be 21 years of age, a white male, and own slave and land. That would constitute a citizen. How you doing, love? And that would constitute a citizen. And then you had those that was made citizens under the 14th Amendment, thus making them second class citizens. And they didn't know that. But even then, when you had the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment, that was the war amendments, right? So when you have the war amendments, all this going on when they had the Civil War, but nobody never really asked the question about, okay, if you have a war, is Congress is really in session? And then who all was in the House to make the votes anyway? Because remember, the South had pulled out of the Union. So how many votes did you have to go ahead on and ratify those amendments? Because what most people don't know is you had the 13 amendments with the 20 sessions in there, but this after Abraham Lincoln got assassinated or basically murdered, they actually took the 20 sessions out. So now nobody don't know about the 20 sessions out of the 13 amendment.
Hmm.
So there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on, and even after that, Congress was actually taken over by the barristers, in 1871. So you have all that's going on. So now you have people in them that say they're citizens. Well, what citizen are you? Are you a first class citizen or a second class citizen? But everybody thinking a citizen is a citizen and it's not. And they be wondering why so-called white folks get a certain leeway than the so-called black man because they said, oh, they can commit the same crime, but one is getting more penalized than the other person. Well, who's the first class and who's the second class?
Hmm. I think that I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad that people get the chance to see that and how that first what you posted earlier. That's why I wanted you to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Because you posted the source on Facebook, and sometimes people on Facebook only get the chat or the text. You know what I mean? But when you get this, break it
Hmm.
down like how you're doing right now, people can get more clarity. You know what I'm saying? Of your position or
Right.
why you posted what you posted on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And it clearly shows there, though, the Negro recognizes that he is a second class citizen, and that status is fraught with violent, what's that word? Potentialities, right? I want
Hmm.
to make sure I pronounce it right. I'm on liquor, I slur a little bit. Particularly today when he is living up to the full responsibilities of citizenship on the field of battle. You know what I mean? That was very, again though, but we should know why we were put in the position as second class citizens, right? I want to show
Right.
something to you now that you said that. Let me get the next joint real quick. See, this is what a lot of people might not know about. And yes, last week Sunday we were talking about something, and then I said, "Oh, I'm gonna have Paul with me this Sunday, so I'm gonna take a quick second out of this before we go into the topic, one of the main topics right now that we are on the flyer that I wanted to ask you some questions about is, you know about Fort Negro,
Yes.
and you obviously know about it also being called Fort Mose.
Right.
And Fort Mose, aka Fort Negro, the time frame is showing here 1763. So let me ask you something. In the time frame of when they're saying that there's a Fort Mose, also called Fort Negro, in St. Augustine, Florida.
Florida.
Florida's, East Florida to be more specific. You know what I'm saying? This situation would mean that going into 1763, when King George III did the Royal Proclamation of 1763, that means there was forts and Negroes governing themselves in a manner in different territories outside of the proclamation line of 1763. Are you following me?
Yeah. Because those line was the demarcation line or the Royal Proclamation lines.
Right. So
Yeah.
that Fort Negro, aka Fort Moses, in 1763 is tied to the same storyline of Fort Negro in 1816. Would you agree?
Right. That's when he was going into the Seminole War. Go ahead.
Correct. Right. Oh, so we on the same page, right? That it was.
Oh, you already know. That's why I
Okay,
got on
make
my
sure.
turban.
I already know. You red sticker. You heard me. So the red
Uh-huh.
sticks are involved with Fort Negro, right?
Right.
Along with the British, the Union Jack flag, because the runaway British went outside of the
Right.
territories after the American Revolution and came into the
Right.
territories of what we call Florida. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm gonna read a little bit to the people out there just so they can see it there, and then I'm gonna move it on. I just want to just correlate. Cause last week, anybody that watched the show last week, we talked about the Fort Negro, and it was tied to the 1812 War and the Creek Civil War between the Red Sticks and the White Sticks, and it was talking about how that in that same war going into 1816 when they attacked Fort Negro, right? And then it goes in from there on how we got the Indian removal. They say first Seminole War, second Seminole War, third Seminole War.
Third Seminole
So
War.
I mean, we going all the way into the Civil War, right? So that would also correlate to why those Negroes will also be considered what? Second class citizens. Ain't it?
Right.
Would you make the ops first class citizens? The people that
That's
cost
why
you the most money, the most money you ever lost in the history of America's wars. You gonna make them now first class citizens?
nah.
That Negro fort from 1763 going all the way into 1816, and they still warring after the fact of that. You see where I'm going with this? I'm just saying.
But yet they made the five civilized tribes first class citizens.
Oh, that part. Now that's why that's the Lusty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna read a little bit of this and we're
So
gonna keep it
so
sliding. Go ahead,
so
though. Go ahead.
so
Go
so
ahead.
so let me get this straight for people that keep on talking about Indians, nations was enslaving Africans. Let me put this in its proper context and perspective. What people them don't understand is that was the white sticks that was owning the African slaves, and that was the ones that went ahead on and did treaty with Andrew Jackson. And when he told them they had to go ahead on, hey, what's happening, baby? It told them that they had to go on the Trail of Tears, and it was like, well, we did a treaty with you, Andrew Jackson, and we helped you with the battle of 1812 and all that down there in New Orleans and stuff. You go do that to you, like, man, like I don't give a fuck. You go ahead on, you go get your ass on the Trail of Tears. You know what I'm saying? So that would happen tonight. So that would wind up happening. So yeah, that was the white sticks in them that was put on the Trail of Tears, but nobody want to talk about that because we the red sticks, we like, man, fuck that. We gonna go deep into the Everglades. You know what I'm saying? So we go fight this motherfucker. You heard me?
See, that's why I was talking about this last week. Just so anybody that was here last week, we talked about the white sticks. We talked about how they the ones that, like you just said, Andrew Jackson, and how he allied with them because they got into a war, a civil war, and that's tied to the Fort Negro, and how the red sticks were dealing with what they call Africans, as they were labeled, or Negroes, and the white sticks were trying to enslave Negroes. So
Right.
that was just in general, census of people having a clash of their traditional ways, as some people might say. But then I'm gonna read this again, and I'm gonna slide real quick just so everybody can see. I hope y'all read it yourself when you could read. Hundreds of the enslaved people forced to work in the Britain's North American colonies escaped slavery and self-emancipated in Florida from the late 1600s into the 1700s. Slavery was
Hmm.
practiced in Spanish Florida at the time. But the Spanish crown offered those fleeing the British chattel system the opportunity to convert to Catholicism, establish communities, and most importantly, in the eyes of the Spanish imperial designers, help protect Spanish Florida from British invasion. With this in mind, Fort Mose, also known as Fort Negro, was created just north of St. Augustine's Castillo de San Marcos. You heard me? So yeah, I wanted to
Right.
just put that out there just for a historical moment of Fort Mose, Fort Negro, because last week I didn't get to throw that in there. I'm like, you know this because you obviously Yamasi, Red Sticks. You know what I'm saying? You always bang on. You've been saying that for a long time, more than I know. A lot of people saying it on Facebook. That red stick, you gonna get that red stick. You heard me? So
Yeah.
Yacht Seminole. Yes, sir. And I'm just showing you a region. What's the map we got here, real quick? So
Because see, that's what the people in them don't
okay,
understand.
that's the Royal
That
Proclamation. This is the Royal Proclamation map of
right,
1763.
1760 something. Yeah.
All right, so people can understand the boundary of what's what. You see, so anybody that's looking at 1763, the Royal Proclamation line, as it shows, boundary between Mississippi River and the 49th parallel, uncertain due to the misconception that source of Mississippi River lay further north. But all that pink area, right? That's the uncertain area. I want you to see 17. Look, this is 1775 is saying here, dog. At the bottom to the right. It say, okay, I see what you say on the map, but it's funny. It says 1775 to the bottom right there. But either way, yes, on the map it does say the proclamation line that I did bring up earlier, dealing with King George III. Now, when it comes down to
Hmm.
this map, though, it's showing Indian Reserve right in the middle. But still, however, that means that's Indian territory, basically. You know what I mean? Now, because in 1775, the Muskogee did not sign a treaty yet with the United States of America. They didn't do it until 1790. So we know
Right.
that this whole area in the middle here, and a lot of other people, especially in the South, you know what I mean, outside of that Georgia area, where you see all that really would be Georgia. You see parts of that area is Georgia right there. You see that, right? They only got a certain part of Georgia. You see that? They don't even have the whole thing of Georgia. You see what I'm saying? Make people see that. You know what I mean? But then you come into obviously East Florida, West Florida, Louisiana would be Spanish territory. All that. Even though it's crazy, East Florida is Spanish territory too. But the Spanish
Right.
are dealing with who? A lot of Indians, as they would call. That's why it's still in pink.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm talking about? So just for context of the timeline of that. This is going to go. Matter of fact, because of where I traveled to the first time, I went to Spanish territory, which I'm in Spanish territory based off that timeline. But when we went to come check you, the first time I met you was in Louisiana, in Monroe, the parish. What's the parish called again? Is it Monroe Parish?
Is Carroll Parish.
Carroll Parish. I want to make sure I ain't tripping. See, I mess up with the parishes and shit. I ain't going front. So it's Monroe what? Monroe what?
Monroe is the city,
It's a city, right? Make sure I'm getting
and
it right.
it's in Carroll Parish. Yeah.
It's in Carroll Parish. So I always,
Hmm.
I'll be thinking county because I'm from down here we got counties. So I'm thinking Monroe County and no, but you got it right. The Monroe is a
Well,
city
at one time,
inside of a
at
parish,
one
basically. Then, right?
at one time, Louisiana did have 12 counties, but after the counties was dissolved, they wind up becoming parishes, and that's how we wind up getting 64 parishes.
Go ahead, Cole. And you know, I think that in the manner of when I came out there to check you, this is where I met you. See, remember this? Take you
Yeah,
back. How long ago is that now, Paul?
but we met way before 2011.
Huh? What you say? Yeah, I'm saying that's when I'm saying I met you. No, but this I'm saying this is the time when we came and I met you in Louisiana for that in person.
The first time you met me, that was in 2009.
Was it nine?
Yeah, because in 2009 you met me, and then 2010 you had a little ordeal, and then you came the following year after that, 2011. Because remember, you missed the year. You and
Hold on,
cousin
Paul.
Kofi missed the year.
Me and Kofi came with Teddy T and Mecca. Shout out to Teddy T and Mecca. It was 2009. I know we
Yeah,
then
it
we
was
started
2000.
again in Tampa in 2011. Maybe was it
Yeah, 2000,
2009?
2009, 2009, and then 2010 you had a little situation, and y'all beat that situation. You heard me, and then y'all came the following year
To Tampa. I mean, go to
to the
Louisiana twice.
Washington, to the
Me and God been
Washington.
singing, looking at each other like we only went one time. Oh shit! See, that's why we do these things live.
Now you
And
you sure?
I promise you, dog, I only been to Louisiana one time with God. Me and God went one time. That's the time his shoes got the flip flops and everything. The Jordans turned the flip flops. We was there for the solstice and everything. Remember, it was there
That
for
was
the solstice.
2011.
I swear it was around that time. I don't think we went in 2000. See, you making me scratch my head. Was it 2009? I think you were there in
Because remember,
2009 and we were there in 2011. I think that's what happened.
okay, yeah.
But when we came, Brother Joe was there. See, I
All right,
never
yeah,
met.
that was 2000, that was 2011. That was
Right. See,
2011.
I never met the Empress. When she at the 2009 one, right? That was
No,
she wasn't that
no,
I knew that.
she was in California. She was in California at that time.
Right. But when I went to is this one because that's the one when I met
Yeah,
Brother
in
Joe.
2011. Yeah,
All right, so now we back on the same timeline. See, I got to make sure I get
yeah.
my shit right with you now. You got me out here
And then I
looking
mentioned,
crazy.
and then I
Now we talking
also
about
mentioned in
2009.
Tampa in 2012.
That was right. So you pushing the shit. You pushing. See, you didn't. But see, you've been going to these things longer than, and obviously you know about the Washington. Huh? It was 2010. It was 2010. He's saying. Kobe said he got the pictures right now. He's saying it's 2010. So you know what I'm saying? He got the pictures. He got the pictures. So y'all gonna go in the crates and shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, so 2010. All right, but so. All right, so however, we was all wrong. We was all wrong, goddamn. But anyway, timeline, we going back. You know what I mean? It's that far back when niggas got all the dates wrong and shit. You know what I
No,
mean?
we know we was there.
Real talk. I want the flash to fly though. Shout out to the Washington, right? Because when I went out there, I learned a lot about the mound. Brother Joe got us to go to Poverty Point. We got to do the walk around and all that good stuff with all the different things going on. And yeah, you see how it's saying in case June 19, 1848, Supreme Court ruling.
Whoa. Yeah.
So, Pa, I want you to tell the people for the record. For matter of fact, we can go to the next thing. Tell the people about Washington. I think you're the best person, being that you was out there already, and from the historical part of it, just dealing with the genealogy of the Emperor's brother Joe. Shout out to them. You know what I mean? And just the two main things that people probably don't like to hear is the French and the Indian, right? But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I would like for you to go into it. This is the .org official Empire
Yeah.
Washington. They got them on your joint. Go ahead though.
Yeah. What most people don't know is that actually the Washita actually migrated from southern Louisiana, and they went up to where Monroe is at now. But they actually started right here in the south, right not too far where I'm at, right here and Chachama Chapatulas, but they was on the south shore of the river of the Mississippi, and then they migrated up north to where Monroe is today. you know. Now, if anybody read the book, The Return of the Ancient Ones, the Empress
We got it.
specifically, yeah, she specifically said that her father was Washita and her mother was Tunica. Now, she said that the Washita is also a matrilineal society. So, dealing with that, her father was Washita and her mother was Tunica. So, once again, you are what your mother is dealing with the southeastern coast and the south coast tribes, right? The woodlands. So dealing with that, her mother is Tunica. So she would be considered as a Tunica because her mother was a Tunica and her father was a Washita. Now, what wound up happening is that there was a Frenchman by the name of Marquis de Maison Rouge, who was of the House of Bourbon and the House of Orleans. He came and married a Tunica woman, not really married, but had children for a Tunica woman, and that's on the Empress mother side of the family. So dealing with that, her mother and them married a French man, and that's how she became French in Tunica.
See, I mean, I think that's kind of playing up right? Like straight up and down with I mean, that's what I heard when I went out there, right? Like to be specific of why her family has the claim that she's making, right? Would you like to go into that part? Being of the nobility of the Louisiana name, right? The word Louisiana has King Louis and Anna Marie. Is that, you know what I'm saying? Like all inside this book, right?
Yes, yes,
Go
yes.
ahead.
So what wind up happening is if you can go to the Turner Heirs versus the United States, that was in 1750, and then you had the Dred Scott decision happening 1757. So with this going on, Judge Taney was there for both court cases. So her family, who is the Turner, they the ones that had the Spanish land grants, and the Spanish land grants went from the West Florides and East Florides, and also dealing with the DeBass tribe.
Well, I think you just really said a lot because I think people don't. Maybe you might, people might rewind that again, and maybe they didn't catch all the stuff you just said. You said a lot of different nobility, I mean, people that's in her line that are not
Yeah,
from,
Marquis de Maison Rouge,
right?
Marquis de Maison Rouge, he would have been next to be king. But what wound up happening is there was a coup d'etat that happened in France, which became known as the French Revolution, where you had Napoleon Bonaparte, and then was went head on and killed the king. So in order for him to get away, they sent him to his uncle, who was Uncle Alphonse, who was the king of Spain, right? Because you had them two was brothers. You had King Alfonso and King Louis. They was brothers. One sat on the throne of France and one sat on the throne of Spain. So the brother sent his son to his brother over there in Spain, and then the Spanish sent him over here to Louisiana.
For sure. And I got to make sure I say this because every time I talk about the Washington, and I still from time to time keep up with the elders. Shout out to Sister Fiola and Brother Hakeem. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them two, the couple, the elders. You know what I mean? Got to give a shout out to them. But
Indeed.
the in this situation, this Ancient Ones book, Brother Joe, when we met him, I mean, he was just keeping it straight. Like that man was just so straight because I think he was fed up with a lot of things that people were pushing based off what we talked about. That like that lady that was locked up saying that she's a Washita Moore. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I know that and I know because I was there and I seen it with my own eyes what the man said and interacted with the man for that time frame of a year or so on phone calls, etc., and how he was dealing with so many people who were claiming to be Washita. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
we're not but were not
Right.
Washita or adopted
Right.
by Washita or
Right.
affiliated in any kind of way with the membership card saying you do something on behalf of Washita.
Right.
Two, Brother Joe, whose mama would be the empress who wrote that book, and obviously it's tied to that lineage that we just got through talking about. Am I right about
Right.
that?
You're right. Yeah,
And that's
absolutely
the
right.
real that's the real shit, right? I mean, am I tripping?
No, that's the real deal.
Okay. Because some people want to give
They have,
fantastic and sci-fi and shit, and they want to make it
yeah,
into some other shit. You know what I'm saying? That it's not. You know what I'm saying? And that's why
yeah,
I gotta. You know what I mean? And there, the boom. United States, Appellate verse, Sarah Turner, the wife of Jared D. Tyler, who is authorized and assisted herein by her said husband, Eliza Turner, wife of John A. Quickman, who is in like manner authorized and assisted by her said husband, Henry Turner, and George W. Turner, heirs and representatives of Henry Turner, deceased. You see me? Is that
right,
is that right? Wait, what do I say right
right.
there? Thus was an appeal from the District Court of the United States for the District Court of Louisiana. It was a petition filed in the District Court by the appellees who claimed a tract of land under the Mason Rouge grant. District Court
Hmm.
decided in favor of the petitioners, and United States appealed to this court. It was submitted by Mr. Crittenden, Attorney General for United States, upon the ground that this court had already decided in the case of United States versus King 3 Howard 70 C773 and 7 Howard 833 that the grant was invalid. Mr. Chief Justice Taney delivered the opinion of the court. Now, what you think about this? Am I tripping when I'm reading? What we
Nah,
got
that's the
going
truth.
on?
That's the truth because that's the same Taney that said that the black man does not have any rights that the white man is bound to respect. But yet he respected the Turner family, who would be considered as Negroes, who was Indians.
With European mixture. Nobility, by the way.
Right,
French nobility, be specific.
right, right.
Hmm. It's interesting they would say that when the French were the ones that helped them fight against King George III to get their independence. It's interesting.
But see, but what's so funny is that King George III was the king at that time.
Right.
So, because remember, when you read the Treaty of Paris, it says that his kingship, his holiness, King George III, who was the king of England, Ireland, Scotland, and France. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he was the king of France. When you read the Treaty of Paris, a matter of fact, if you can go to Treaty of Paris, you'll see that he was the king of France. If Kofi
Right.
can pull up
Well,
the Treaty of Paris.
It's the Roman situation at this point because they're consolidated getting into this time frame where you know what I mean the George line is, you know what I mean, they sitting the Hanovers, you know what I mean, they sitting on top of that Roman Catholic situation, you know what I mean, at
Right,
that time. So that
right.
means France, all these areas are bowing down to, you
Because
know what I mean?
France was dealing with the Huguenots. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I
And
know
he
what you're
also had
saying.
he also had ties to that too, by him being the king. And not only was he was the king, but he was the holy royal elector and king. So he just was not only king, but he was a special kind of king.
Right, because he was the holy elector underneath the Roman situation. That's what I'm trying to say.
Bingo.
He wasn't just
Yeah,
like, because at one time you had many kings and they all were allies underneath the Roman, but when you get to this time frame, he's at the top. Like he's
yeah,
like
yeah. He's the
this,
shit. Yeah,
right?
he's the
Like this.
shit. Yeah, they showed you that in the
Oh
movie Pirate of the Caribbean,
yeah.
the Rise High
Oh
Tide.
yeah, man. That German crown, boy. Them. Hey, listen. People can be mad if they want to, but that German line came in strong from 1735 for real.
Yeah,
From the first George, they weren't playing around. Hey, but see, However, though, I just want to bring that up though. I don't want people to get that, and I ain't gonna sting people on it. I ain't gonna stay on it too long. But at any time, this is a reference point for anybody that wants to put some sci-fi spin on it. You know what I'm saying? I just want to give for the record. You know what I mean? Is there anything you want to say before we move on to the next part? Because timing wise and everything, a couple other topics I want to bring up to talk to you about before we get out of here tonight. Is there anything else you want to
All
say
right.
about this Washington situation?
No, we everything is on point. Everything is right and exact because you got a lot of people that's claiming. I remember I asked a couple of guys that's down here in New Orleans. Oh, I'm Washington. I said, well, you Washington. Well, what clan you from? Huh? What clan you from? They were to tell me their surnames. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm not asking about no surnames. I said, what clan you from? They couldn't even tell me what clan they was from. I said, you not Washington, man.
Damn. Hey man, it's a dangerous thing going on. You know what it is? Because the Pan African thing started. You know what I mean? Try to put it on them because they
Good
started
night.
this
How you doing,
Pan
love?
African
All
thing,
right.
and
Enjoy
then
yourself. I'll see you in there soon.
now
All
you
right,
got
baby.
a Pan Indian thing, and then people running around. I think it's the
You
dude that I
drink?
want to show, Coach. You
Yeah.
heard me? Let me see that real quick.
Yeah.
That joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Nola shit. And this is from your city, dog. This is somebody down there by you. This is what I want to show you before I go on to the next thing with the Aztec. And that's the part I really want to get with you with. Tell you the truth, that's my next main part of the
Okay.
conversation. But this part
Okay.
right here, I mean, I want to start with this first though. But this guy right here, Gavin Long, belonged to Washita Nation. You know what I'm saying? It says, who are they? You know? And this is why this thing got to be cleared up. And I asked, well, who the real Washita? And I know you out there in the city. You know what I'm talking about? You in the know. I know you a
Yeah,
real
this
reference
happened.
point for me.
This happened
You know?
some years ago. This happened
Yeah.
some years ago, and they made the news. From what I recall, is that the gentleman that actually owned the house was in California, and something happened that he had some kind of tax delinquents on his property. So the gentleman and the young lady they went head on, and they did a quick claim title on the property, and what wind up happening is that these young brothers they was not under the tutelage of Joe, who was the empress son. They was under someone else from out of South Carolina.
Mm.
And
Uh-oh.
you know, yeah, you know
Oh,
who it is.
I already know who
Yeah,
you're gonna say.
yeah, you know
Know
who
it,
it is. Yeah,
know it. Wink, wink. Wink, wink. Where it
yeah.
said,
But anyway,
where it said. Hey, wait, hold on. Where it said, squatters espousing allegiances to an esoteric black nationalist movement. At that part, you can see that part. Identity extremism is a heavy thing out here. And some people, because of their, ideals of esoteric and metaphysical things, you know what I'm saying, will correlate that they're tied to something. But when we get to the real family that really, you know what I mean, feds know who they is type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't even scared to say that. I know that's real time. You know what I mean? Like the
yeah,
feds
the
really
feds
do
in the
know.
Department of Justice know who the real family is. And
Right,
so, you know,
right. Ain't no running around being scared to say that shit. That's just what it is. You feel me? We ain't doing that over here at the party, so we ain't got nothing to worry about. So I ain't nothing to worry about. So yeah, but at the same time, this is what needed to be explained, and I always going because of me meeting Brother Joe, and Brother Joe did give me the right to do certain things and speak on behalf of Washington in this area and do events, etc., and use the name and not get in situations. You know what I mean? How you know that,
right,
Paul? Because I did an
right,
indigenous conference and brought
right,
Washington and the Yamasi down to Florida. You know what I'm talking about? The South,
right,
the Swamp. I
right.
did that. I can say that. Shout out to God of Green. Shout out to Teddy T. Feel me? Shout out to Firebird. They all know this is real facts. You know what I mean? That's why I know when you have access to the real people that's tied to it, and you say you want to, express showing, okay, y'all need to be more highlighted because of what your family is tied to, and people in history need to know, you know what I mean, who and what really happened in this situation. You know what I mean? And they give you the
Hmm.
opportunity to present it and represent that information. People got to have respect when they do that. You know what I'm saying? People be just running around and just say they something just for the sake of hype. You know what I'm saying?
And not
And
and
that
not
shit get a
only
lot of
that,
people in trouble. You know what I'm talking about?
And not only that, you got a lot of people that fall for the banana in the tailpipe. They was like, oh well, I know the Empress. I'm like, well, what's the Empress name? And somebody said one name. I'm like, nah, that's not no Empress of the Washington. There was only one Empress of the Washington. And then after she made her transition, then her granddaughter became the Empress of the Washington. But yet you got people that want to be empresses now and everything. And the reason why she was able to call herself Empress because that was dealing with her French and Spanish side. But dealing with being Tunica, we didn't have no term for that in the Tunica tongue. You know what I'm saying? So that's how
That
you
part.
know people is on some BS. You
That
know,
part. Straight up. I
wow,
keep
what's
it a
happening,
hundred.
baby?
I keep it a
All
hundred,
right,
man. That's one thing you know about me, Paul.
yeah.
Certain things when I be seeing certain shit, and I be meeting people in their real families and what they got going on in this shit. There's already enough going on. We ain't got time to really be playing that game. This shit vibrating though. You hear me? Okay, you good. You good. I hear you better. That's good. You ready to move on to the next joint? I'll slide. So this is the thing. This week too, see? This week too, you see me posted in Maroonville on Facebook, right? And see, I go straight to I ain't make this. That's not my source. Feel me, Pop? This ain't my source. That's what I said. You see, I got the even my emoji. You know what I'm saying? Make you think. What's going on here?
Y'all can
Now
hear
to the
me?
right.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah,
Can you
your
hear
shit
me?
went out. Yeah, I hear you. Your shit went out. Ain't it though? That's what happened. Are you talking now? Pa, Cheeto, you can't hear me there, ain't it? Can y'all hear me in the chat? Is it all right? Well, Pa went out. He come back in. I'm gonna try to wait for him, y'all. What's going on in the chat though? It's popping with everybody out there. Tapped into the conversation. Let me see what's up. I'm trying to wait for Pa to pull back up, man. Peace to everybody in the chat. Listen to this joint live. There you go. There Pa is.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Now you
shout out
talk.
to everybody in the
Now what
chat.
we talking about now? What we talking about now?
Oh yeah, I was waiting for you to come back. You heard me? Now look, can
Yeah.
you make that bigger? Can you make that bigger? All right, bet my ooh. Shout out to Maroonville. You heard me on Facebook. If you don't know, tap in. You heard me? Yeah. We was in there talking. I shared this like I share a lot of other things. You feel me? Just like, look, what y'all think about this? This is when I get to get some feedback from the folk if they respond. Shout out to Michael Hampton. He was supposed to be here tonight with us. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mike. I had him on the flyer and all. No lie. You heard me? Because he was like, yo, Max, so what you think about this? And me and S. Dot, that was on the show last week, me and S. Dot, I'm like, I can't really, say that I really, to say what this man is saying is what I'm saying, but we can have a conversation. So here we are. So here, Paul. Montezuma, and I did this a couple weeks back. I was talking about Montezuma because of this source and how people were talking about that Montezuma's feathered crown went from being considered an Indian crown to being a Moorish crown. And that was in 1621. And then people started to say from that point, because of them changing some document in 1621, that Montezuma's crown wasn't an indigenous crown tied to the Aztec Empire, but a Moorish crown. So I was trying to go through it back and forth. I'm like, well, let me go ahead and pull this up and show people why. I got it tonight. I got the source. I'm going to pull it up. You know me now. I ain't front, right? So now this thing right here, though, you can't make it no bigger than that, huh? I know I ain't going to stretch it. I ain't going to stretch it. Then slide down a little bit there. Let me get my eyes on my cataracts and shit. Huh? What happened? Yeah, I was trying to read that part. I was trying to. It's really, my eye blurred. No, don't worry about it. Then slide down. Go to the bottom part. That's where it's at though. They can see the pictures and shit like that, man. All right, here we go. This is the part I can definitely read. Now, this is the thing though. I want everybody to see this, and hopefully, you reading ahead of me, you reading the whole thing. So just in case I might misspell or pronounce something wrong. It's just the Aztec leader Montezuma explained that his understanding of the origin of the Aztec was as a people who arrived on the eastern shore of Mexico aboard ships that had left a land from across the ocean. For a long time, we have known from the writings of our ancestors that neither Montezuma nor any of those who dwell in this land are natives of it, but foreigners who came from a very distant parts. And likewise, we know that a chieftain of whom they were all vassals brought our people to this region. And he returned to his native land, and after many years came again, by which time all those who had remained were married to native women and had built villages and raised children. And it says Montezuma, source, Hernan Cortez, letters from Mexico. Aztecs named their first colony, and it says Mali Naloko, and I might pronounce Nalco or Nalco. And then it says the old Mali. There is one village called Mali Coma. The name Mali was used with suffix by Africans to name cities. We have in an independent history the account of those ships leaving Mali at the time the Aztec arrived on the eastern shore of Mexico. The writings of Sahagun, and I might pronounce that wrong, but say
All,
Nahar.
all right, family. All right, family.
Go
Let
ahead,
me
go ahead.
let me
I know
let
you
me
want
go
to
ahead
get
on.
yours.
Let me go ahead on and cut that up right quick.
Go ahead, give it to me.
Now, you had a person that had a book that was written, and this what happened when you don't talk to indigenous people, man. The Aztecs did not come from no Africa. Right
Go
there,
ahead.
what they is doing and what they said is, I'll tell you what the fuck happened. The Malians came in 1307, 1311, 1312, and 1320. Okay, the Aztecs in them come from where the Rocky Mountain is, right there in North America, in the West, right there around where Utah is. Okay, so I already know the person that chopped that bullshit up and everything, and they're wrong as the fuck. They're wrong as the fuck. Nah, the thing is that the Aztecs was already down there because when they went down there, they took over the cities that the Mayans was there, and the Mayans had left. So the Aztecs and them took over the city that the Mayans and them had built. That what happened. That's a call passing, but that what happened. The Aztecs came down there, and the cities and stuff was vacant because the Mayans and them had already left. And if you know anything about history, you can go and look it up and everything. They said that the Aztecs and them came and took over the cities that's down there in Mexico and everything. And that's when the Malian Moors and them had came.
I'm glad you. All right. So basically, you know, I wish this is where I wanted Michael Hampton to be in for this part of the conversation. He in the chat, you can say so out. I was like, man, find a way if you
You
can.
daddy made it in there yet?
And
I,
this should say
I,
though Montezuma. All right. So as you just said, the Aztec situation and their origin story is older than what people's theory or agree to disagree with of Mansa Musa in the 1312, 13, you know what I mean, 1300s, you know what I mean, 14th,
right,
1300s, fuck that. And
right,
in that time frame, in the 1300s, when they say that the Malian Empire would say they had a navy fleet that was able to, you know, sail the ocean blue, we call the Atlantic, or the Ethiopian Ocean, right? Whatever some people
right,
feel more familiar with, and
right,
found a way to come into what we call today South America, right?
right.
Bahia. I heard this many times. Bahia, Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Now, if this is the case, if it happened or not, the Aztec Empire is already running prior to 1300s. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, it was already. Yeah, it was already running. It was
All right,
already
so
fucking running. It was
right,
running before the motherfucking Malians got there.
that part. So for even people going with if the Malis made it on their own independent travel on the ocean or not, the Aztec Empire is already a running, functioning situation with its own situation, dynasties, etc., going on prior to the theory or agree to or disagree of Mansa Musa and a fleet of Malian people coming to the Americas. See what I'm saying?
Right, right,
All right. All right. So now, with that being said, though, this is the source that I have brought up a couple, you know, weeks back, And we can slide up a little bit, guy. We're gonna I'm reading into this. I want you to check this out. Go ahead and slide up real quick for me. There we go, right there. We can leave it right there, right now. All right, in 1613, its description was faithfully reproduced. Pay attention. In 1621, the word Indian was substituted for Moorish. With this single alteration, the original text was again transcribed in 1730. All right. The origin of America's native population has been long subject of debate. The theory that the indigenous natives of America were the result of agents crossing the Bering Strait is no more substantial than the idea that America was populated by Moors having traveled across the Atlantic and settling in the Americas. Actually, the later theory was the opinion of most scholars before abolition of slavery. Others believe that America is an old melting pot and its indigenous inhabitants as a result of several migrations from both Africa and Asia. And that was published in 1864. It says the Indian race of North America and South America by Charles Day Wolfe Brownell makes his observation on page 15 in his classic work. They say it's a classic, so I guess you're going to have to read it for yourself. And then it says some theories have I messed this word up last time I read this joint too. How did I say this word, bro? This word got me tongue-tied, huh? I ain't gonna listen here. INDEFATIGABLY. Now, how you pronounce that? Followed by the idea that we are to search for the lost tribes of Israel among the red men of America, and have found a fancy resemblance otherwise unaccountable between Indian and Hebrew words, ceremonies, and superstitions. Now, again, it's gonna slide down, God, and they're gonna say they're gonna go. And it's gonna show, like, they're gonna show the map. Go to that picture. I ain't gonna read this whole thing. You feel me? You make it move, hit me slide. So either way, the Montezuma, you can go to the next joint, actually. I wanted to just show, because we read this last time, a couple weeks back, when we was talking about certain things, and I was dealing with the fact that people are taking a document and they're telling you that it went from Indian to Moorish in the 16th century. You know what I mean? The timeline jumping. The Aztec situation fell in the 1520s. It fell in the 1520s. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that would be 100 years later.
Right.
You said the Aztecs migrated from where? God, ask it again. Where you said them Aztecs migrated from? I want you just to make sure people.
From the Rocky Mountains.
You saying from the Rocky Mountains. So from north to south. So all right. That's what they said. They was in the cave, right? They was in the origin story says they was underground. Then they came.
They was in the mountains. Right? Yeah.
They was in the mountains under the mountains. Then they came up out the mountains and went south.
Right.
And then they planted with the stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the cactus and the bird came down and all that, right?
Yeah, and that was way before the Malians came over.
Way before the Malians came over. All right, so you say again. It said somebody said in Midwest.
Yeah, that is the Midwest. The Rocky Mountains is the Midwest.
Wisconsin. You said Wisconsin. Wisconsin. He's saying Wisconsin. Somebody in the chat saying Wisconsin. Shout out to
pull it up. Pull up. Go online and pull up the origins.
I got something.
The migration story of the Aztecs. Because they came from out of Aztlan. Aztlan was right there in the Midwest, where would be Utah and all that there.
Good point. Well, funny enough, when God just caught it, I know I read it before. I would have missed it this time, but it says in the picture, it says man and woman of the, and it's funny that it says Fox Indians parentheses. It says Wisconsin, even though the person said Wisconsin in the chat. I just thought that was in the original. God, always catch the details. But guys are always into details. That's what I think is going on here. That's all. But either way, they didn't come from across. Again, their origin story doesn't say that they came from across the water. The origin story says they came from out of the mountain range, under the ground, and came up and then migrated south. You know what I mean?
Right.
To where Mexico is today. Feel me?
Right.
All right. So I don't want nobody to think that this is what we thought. You feel me? Because I know you respect people's origin stories, but the people like everybody else like to respect their religious origin story, right? So
Yeah, the people know where they came from. They said it.
right, immaculate. They migrated up and west east. So yeah, that's the point. God saying that the Aztecs actually came into the area that the Mayan Empire was at too. Because the Mayans were in Mexico when the Aztecs came from the north there. Would you say that?
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
move to the next chart. So this is why, and then the Mayans they went a lot of places that people don't want to talk about. You know what I mean? All the way to East
The Mayans,
Florida,
the Mayans came up here to Louisiana, which
Carolina.
became known as Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, and
Yeah, the
Tennessee.
Mayans were all up in there, all up in there. The
Right,
Appalachia, the Appalachia.
right, right.
I'm saying, I know this. I
And
don't
when
know the
and when
brown
and when
dude.
they
All
and
that
when
shit
they
is tied to the ceremonial
and when the
practices.
Mayans and when the Mayans came up here, they came across their ancestors that was up here before them.
Now who them folk supposed to be then, Paul?
I be laughing at these cats, man. Like, oh, they say this is Egypt, they say this is Israel, and like, nigga, no, man. Like, stop that bullshit, man. You know, you
Real
got
talk.
people talking about this is Israel and Peru is Jerusalem and Jerusalem. Like, no, nigga. Yeah, y'all biblical text did not say that. Y'all Quranic text did not say that. When you go in the book of Second Kings and all that there, and then you go to first book of Nephi, chapter 18, it tell you that the people from Israel came from Israel and came over here. That was over
That part.
3,000 years ago. But
That part.
motherfuckers don't read their shit. They trying to talk about Moses was a motherfucking Mayan. The fuck?
What's going
How
on,
the fuck
man?
that happened?
What's really good?
Like, no, man, don't do that, bro. You trying to mix fucking cultures and that shit didn't happen like that. It
Real
didn't.
talk. Real talk. You know, matter of fact, slide up on this one. I want to show the codex real quick. You know what I mean? Since you're talking about the mountain range and shit, see what I'm saying? The codex is just you know what I mean? Do you think this the real codex? See the? You should think this the real codex.
Nah, they ain't got the dark skinned people on there.
I knew you was gonna say that shit, dog. I knew you was gonna say that shit. Lord, listen, hey, but they showing the hey, that whoever made that look like a kid drew a mountain or some shit. Let me stop
But
playing.
I'll tell you
I'm
this, right?
serious though.
If anybody saw the movie
Apocalypto.
uh, uh yeah, Apocalypto, where Mel Gibson, in that movie, they showed you the timeline. Everybody thinking that was the Mayans. That was not the motherfucking Mayans. That wasn't the Mayans in the movie Apocalypto.
Who that
You
was?
going already? Oh, they let you bring your cup in, huh? Okay.
She
Yeah.
playing security
Well,
guard on the podcast at the same damn time in the middle of the city. That's how you know.
oh,
Go ahead though.
oh, what happened is, no, she's beautiful, man. But anyway, what wind up happening is that when you look at the end of the movie, they show 1500s. So they were showing you where Cortez was going in.
Mm-hmm. Cortez. We were just talking about Cortez earlier. You see how I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was just
Go
talking about
back and look
Cortez
at the
brother
end of
earlier.
Apocalypto. Go back and look at the end. They'll show you where when they saw the doggone ships and everything. And it was like, yeah, they give you the timeline. So that wasn't the Mayans.
It was doing an eclipse too, ain't it? Ain't that some shit? Mm-mm-mm. People say they saw the eclipse and they thought the people were coming, bitch. You know, they say that some of the folks wouldn't even go outside because of the eclipse. Some Native Americans, they say out west, wouldn't even look at the eclipse. They don't, you know what I mean? It's just an omen. Hey, I guess all Native folks ain't
Well,
doing the same
well,
thing. You know
well,
what I'm talking
well,
about?
it was said when they have that kind of eclipse, that the gateway of the spiritual world is to open.
Well, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because some folk in some cultures of these customs will call the moon uncle. You're talking about,
Yeah,
and some will not call it a masculine term such as uncle. But however,
yeah.
the moon does correlate to the eclipse of the sun being blocked out, and these folks definitely thought there was going to be an apocalypse
I'm
for
watching to
real.
make sure you get in there safe.
I
You're
bet
welcome,
you is.
baby.
I ain't mad at you. I see your eye. I see you cheesing like a kid in the candy store right now. We'll go to the next song. He's cheesing so hard. Look at that. Look at that shit right there. He can't even help it. I ain't mad. I'm cheesing with you. I want to cheese with you, dog. Whatever made you do it. No, for
Like that
real.
was that was caramel right there, boy. That was a motherfucking Philly. That was a Philly right there, boy. I don't know what these motherfuckers be talking about a stallion. Y'all like men. Y'all like male horses. That was a Philly I saw. Fuck
He
what
said,
you
I don't want
heard.
no stallions. No stallions on
I,
this side.
I
You
did
heard
with
me?
straight Phillies.
I ain't mad at you, no pie. I ain't mad at you, no. That's a true story, dog. I don't want no stallions. You heard me? No,
Give me a Philly,
no.
baby.
She supposed to want a stallion. Anyways, though.
That's right. She a Philly cheesesteak. You heard me?
She a Philly cheesesteak.
That's
No
how thick
cheese
she
whiz. You
is.
heard me? No cheese
Yeah.
whiz on mine. Yeah. No, but yeah, man. I wanted to. You kind of went into it though. My last thing I really kind of want to go in with you about was something that we talked about when I had you on the
Couple
show
of weeks
last.
ago.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you shared this with me that time. I wanted to, and that's the part. Like, how did they? When you brought up. So you brought it. So I knew that the Montezuma part that easily can be dismissed about the whole Moorish thing or the whole coming from out of Africa because of Mali. You know what I mean? That's easily anybody can go see that if you go research what they say, even if you disagree with the codex of how they're saying they're being depicted. But however,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, in the origin story of an empire, they definitely are not saying that about themselves. So
Right.
in the Mali part that you brought up, the Mali part you brought up is tied to you saying, and I know you showed me this a couple weeks ago when I asked you about it. I'm like, I need you to get that shit. That you know what I'm saying before you're gonna show, send that shit back to me again. Can you make this a little
Right.
bit bigger for folk out there? It's from my Lusty outside. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this joint got these names here. Feel me?
Yeah.
Now, how would you say that these names come into the tribes of North America?
See, and that's the thing. You got people in them that want to go ahead on and deny the African Holocaust of those Western tribes and clans and bands. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how y'all gonna do that? How did these people get over here in the 1600s and the 1700s when they didn't have no fucking planes? You know what I'm saying? How did they get here? You know, that's my thing. And we already see the people that was a part of the Malian Empire at that time, or the Songhai Empire, right, or the Mabora Empire. You know what I'm saying? All them there, right? So, or the Ghanaian Empire or the Ashanti Empire. So yeah, you see those names right there where you have the Mandinka, the Mandi. You know what I'm saying? The Babora, the Fulani. And everything else, the Ashanti, the Kizzy, you know what I'm saying? And you get a lot of people that talk about, oh, the movie Roots wasn't true, it was plagiarized, because something plagiarized doesn't mean that it wasn't true, because guess what? They dropped some names in the motherfucking movie that's real, because Kunta Kinte had a daughter by the name of what? Kizzy. Well, she was named after the motherfucking Kizzy people. You know what I'm saying? So people in them, they want to try to dismiss the shit, but yet we know those who of the southeastern tribes and everything know that they had Africans that came and married into the nations, and they had admixtures. You know, even dealing with the King Philip War. in King Philip Road when Osceola said, "No one here are slaves; they're all Seminole." You know what I'm saying? So with that, there, if you have somebody that was of the West African nations and stuff,
Yeah,
and you
Seminole.
put a turban on them and everything, and tell them don't open up their mouth, you'll swear to God it was a Seminole. They
Yeah,
couldn't be the Seminoles
Seminole.
that look like today, because that would have stuck out like a sore thumb. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if it's a Negro War, right?
Right. So if it's a Negro war, that means that everybody had the phenotype of a Negro. They had the complexion of a Negro, and they had the phenotypes of a Negro. Because remember, you had the Negro of the Guinea and the Negro of the Terror. They both are Negroes. The Negro of America and the Negro of Africa. And that's why they always say all niggas look alike. Which we have a similarity, but we all don't look alike though.
Ooh. Some people ain't going. So some people will go into the back and forth about the fact that the Negro de Terra's origin originally comes from out of that last joint I just showed you, and that they originally came over here in, like they like to throw 16, 19 around. You know what I mean? But you know, we know that if you like, I don't make no sense if people are going into the theory of Mansa Musa in the 1300s, richest man in the world. If he made it to the Americas, then why would you not think that there was already people from out of West Africa that were already over here prior to 1492? Like, what
Right.
is the thing about West Africa not having a naval force to do it? Are we downplaying the African like Timbuktu and Gao and all that trade system they had going on? We saying
But
that they
yet,
ain't had no
but
ships?
yet, but yet they downplaying us because we had motherfucking canoes that were 300 motherfucking yards long, bro. That's three fucking football fields put together.
I'm trying to understand. Like I'm saying, like so the capabilities of move. Like now, look, I ain't talking about you being able to bring no hundreds of people on no ship or nothing like that. You know what I mean? At a time, you know what I mean?
Right.
Until a certain time frame where they show you the boats that were able to do it. Right? That's later on. But
Yeah.
in the manner of, like you said, the capability of just being able to move on water and get from one place to another. I mean, everybody talks about the water being real. That was one of the things someone brought up, that the waters were so treacherous that you can't go
How you
across it.
doing?
What you think about that theory?
That's on some bullshit too, man. Water has its time of season to where it's trouble. It ain't gonna be no trouble all the motherfucking time.
Hmm.
They talking about the middle passage and all that there and carrying on. If that was the case, then how the fuck we made it over there in motherfucking canoes? But
That
see,
part.
these motherfuckers talking shit. They're not even much a part of any tribal nation, so they don't know this shit. And you ain't gonna find what I'm saying in the motherfucking book either.
That part.
That part. That
Ooh,
part. But yet,
ooh.
but yet, you ain't even gotta take my word for it. They can go look up Jack D. Forbes when they talked about natives in Europe, right? You had northeastern tribes that went to motherfucking Europe, right? Went to Europe on fucking canoes. So, what is canoe compared to a fucking boat? So, if they go in the canoe, that means the water had to be right? In order to go through the motherfucking waters.
That part.
Even with my nation, we got on motherfucking canoes and went across the motherfucking Atlantic.
Well, I'm glad somebody stopped their car alarm outside the club. You know, well, I like it. This remind me of Nine Ether when he was out in the street in New York when he did the interview with us on you know what I'm saying, Oklahoma burning and shit. This shit was raw. I like that
Yeah.
energy though. I ain't mad. Put you in the streets, wherever you at, type shit. In a situation of that though, what do you want to say to the folk though, man, before we get out of here tonight, man? 'Cause I really ain't gonna press on it, man. I ain't gonna press the gas on something that should be known already. Feel me? For those who
Man,
know.
it's like this, fam. You have a lot of people that say the Indian, true fine and dandy, but you're an Indian without the culture.
Mm.
Because if you had the culture, y'all would be making the asinine statements and making all these other claims and shit. And that's why people calling y'all out by your name, calling y'all werbos and abos and all that there. If you was a part of a tribal nation and talking to tribal elders, just like one person said, oh, the tribal elders lie. What tribal elders lie, young man? What tribal elders lie, young man? I would like to know that. And then another thing is, right? You were trying to talk about the Cherokees. Well, or the Cheddaway or the Airware, they said that they came from across the water as well. So they came across the water. They came across the water on.
Mm. I don't know, magic
But yet,
carpet
but
ride.
yet, but yet, you said that they're supposed to be Hebrew. You say that the Cheddaway is supposed to be Hebrew. But yet,
You know, I've seen some shit that people talk about with that, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
but yet, right? If that was to been the case, if they're supposed to be Hebrew, then why? Um, what's your boy name?
Who?
Got the
Oh,
Sequoia. Why
be
Sequoia?
careful now.
Why
Oh,
Sequoia? Why Sequoia? Why Sequoia had to go ahead on and do a whole nother syllabatory and everything if it's supposed to be Hebrew? The Hebrew would have been right there. So why he would need to make a syllabatory?
right. But his cinematography was some other shit though, man. You know, Sequoia was on some other shit, man. We did the
Oh
whole
yeah,
thing on his ass. You know, he was mixed. He was mixed. He wasn't full. His daddy was. What was his daddy called? Sequoia was a Scottish. You know what I'm saying? So Sequoia,
but yet,
like,
but yet the
I hear that
syllabatory,
shit.
was dealing with Latin though.
I mean, yeah, I'm saying the script that he called himself, but he went to school and was educated with his on his pop side of the situation. So when he came back and
Right,
called himself trying to make that syllabus, you know, his own letters and all the script and shit, he was on some, like you said, that was the people been had their own script and language already, speaking and shit. You know what I'm saying? This man was trying to
right.
replace their shit to make up some other shit. Like, what you doing? Fuck out of here. Excuse me, excuse me, y'all. I apologize. Either way, shit kicked
So
in for a
yeah,
second, but
man.
you know,
So you can't take these cats serious, man. Where your Shaqs at, where your Maku at. You know what I'm saying? You
my
got
cool.
all these dudes that trying to mix things in and all that there, man. Like stop it, bro. You're doing more harm to your culture than a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of pan going on right now. We in a panism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of panism going on right now. So
Lot of
you
pan,
feel me?
Hebrew, Moorish, Black Power stuff going on, man. They're jumping it up and making their own jambalaya. And they throwing the little dash of UCC in there,
Hmm?
which is under the Roman Catholic Church. But hey, who am I to say?
Yeah, man. Hey, that's what we want people to do. Their genealogy. We tell people is, when people start talking about genealogy, I really felt that was a good thing. I still think it's a great thing. And no black folk, as they would label us, that's salute. We should understand that we're indigenous to America, most definitely. Because being indigenous to America, as you show with United Nations, right? It's not about in totality that you got to prove that you are 100% something. You know what I mean? Even with the Washington situation, it's not 100%. You feel me? It's not 100%, right? Am I wrong? Like, is that
Yeah,
not the situation? So why people keep stressing today on this 100% got to be one thing? Is because I think they might be misunderstanding nationality and what you were showing with the children's rights. You know what I'm saying earlier on that Facebook
right,
joint. You know what I mean? And that's why
right,
the indigenous rights and people that understand international law and start studying that and what it says about indigenous people, there's more to it than just saying 100% something. If they say it's like you said, the culture, the language, the traditions,
yeah,
ceremonies,
yeah,
the network, you know
yeah.
what I mean, your education system, the land that you got, what land you got. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean?
That
So
part.
it's a lot of proponents and components. That what you say, components. A lot of parts that it's going to take to make that situation manifest the way people really need to understand it at one time. Shout out to Yamasi, you know what I mean, and who you with, the nation. You know what I mean? Shout out to Say
Right.
Cool and them. It's not easy trying to move in
Right.
that way. So I don't knock nobody that's doing it, especially if I'm, got lineage tied to these folks. You know what I'm saying? And I don't
Right.
think that people, as an ex-Lucy, I say that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Muskogee Maroons. I don't really think that people should really not do genealogy to find out if they don't have an indigenous ancestor or not. But if you find a European ancestor, and most people are going to say that you're not going to find in your genealogy an African, right? So where would they have documents, you think, for the time frame of those people that we showed the list earlier, the names in there, the Mendika, the Mendi, Songhai, Mali, right? All them names in there. Where would that be
Well,
on documentation? Where would
remember the
that be on
first census was
documentation?
remember the first census was taken like in what 1790,
1790.
1791,
Yeah.
somewhere around that time. You know what I'm saying? And you can do the United States Census, and then you also can go to the Mormon of Latter Day Saints. They have a plethora of family genealogy shit that you probably want to
Really?
go look through and everything. You know, so yeah,
Bet that.
so
Bet that.
and I said that on my blog talk show. I said go look at your old family Bible,
Most of the people say they don't
obituaries.
got them shits no more. Most people say they ain't got them joints no more. You heard me? Like I'm telling you, most people say I ain't got them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know they got obituaries. They don't keep the obituaries.
Some of these folk these days, man. I'm just saying. I'm hearing people saying they ain't got access to it. I mean, hey man,
Newspaper
listen.
clips.
I'm just
They
being
gotta
honest.
they gotta get out. And they're not gonna always find it behind the computer. Sometimes they gotta go and look and see where the person was born at and look up records there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's real. That's real.
This is a task that you will get self gratification when you go down that rabbit hole of your bloodline.
You know what? And that's why this shit we doing and telling people to go down. Shout out to Opie Mihai. We're gonna play a quick clip for him. We get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get ready to let you go. You know what I'm saying? Get to your party tonight. You know what I mean? I know the shit just getting ready. That's the spot you be on Facebook always dancing and shit at, huh? You see, I
No,
don't
they
be seeing
closed
you.
that. No, they closed that down, bruh. They closed
Stop
that
playing.
down. Yeah, they closed
Okay.
that bitch down, son. And I had good, sweet, bitter memories there. But hey, it is what it is.
What's the name of the spot they shut down, man? What's the name
It
of
was
it?
called Club Caribbean.
Caribbean. Yeah, it's a club. So
Club
what's this
Caribbean.
spot? What's this spot? You know, in the know y'all be listening to
Oh
reggae.
no,
Y'all
well,
be jamming that
bro, this
reggae like
spot, this
that
this this
Caribbean joint.
spot, this spot is called Motorcycle Passage. Um, this spot is called the Real Bourbon Corner. It's right
Okay.
there on Elysian Fields. It's a nice little spot. You heard me? Right here by the Bywater area. You know what I'm saying? And one of my partner, a brother from another mother, he having his birthday celebration and his engineering celebration at the same time. It's supposed to start at 8, but Indian time, color people time, motherfuckers be late.
God damn
Oh
it.
shit.
Now that's real talk. That's real time shit. Hey man, listen, man, I appreciate you pulling up on me and answering all those questions tonight. You know what I'm saying? That I had for you. I had to get it out of the way. Next time I call you and hit you up, it's gonna be about the Pirates of the Caribbean joint that we've been talking
You
about. You
already
know what I
know
mean?
because I'm ready to
But
go in that bitch like a Viking. You heard me?
yeah, so I want people to know that that's real talk. We ain't skipping no. I had to get this first though, because
Yeah.
when I seen the lady in the video clip, I wanted to show it so bad, and I said to God, I'm like, damn, God, Kofi, they ain't gonna let us show the goddamn clip. I want to play this clip so bad. They were tripping, boy. I'm
But you
like,
know
this
what's
lady
so
looking
funny though?
crazy. This lady looking crazy. I'm talking about God
You know what's
damn,
so
man.
funny though? But that give a black eye to it's like this. Everybody want to be Indian till it's time to do Indian shit. And believe it or not, if she would have been a part of a tribal nation and she did that shit, the tribal nation then would have turned her over to the United States and let them deal with her. Because remember, we tribal people, we didn't have no jails and all that there. Now, if we would have dealt, everybody want to talk about the dripping, undripping, all that there. We would have dealt it. We would have did it the old-fashioned way. We gonna put your head on the motherfucking rock and get that red stick and bash in your fucking head and see you up the motherfucking river without a battle. You heard me? And that's the way how we would have dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? So they're not ready for the way how we did shit. So
That's
yeah,
savage.
they're not
You heard
ready.
me? Y'all some savages.
Yeah, that's the reason why they said that shit. Cause they were like, oh Lord, we never like bitch, we gonna
Some
bust your
noble savages.
what Scrappy said? What Scrappy said? He from right
Some
there in
noble
Georgia. We
savages.
some head busters. We some
Yeah,
head
busters.
busters. Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
All right, then. I ain't
All
mad
right,
at you,
fam.
dog.
Well, you already know. Look, they playing one of my favorite songs too.
Go
I'm
ahead, hit me a
drinking
banger.
rum and Red Bull.
Get out of here, man. I'm get out of here,
All right,
man.
love
All
y'all,
right, man.
family. All
Hey,
right,
peace. Till next time,
next
bro.
time. See you soon.
Peace. This man part off the chain, man. He did that live on the street though, in the noise though, out in the city though. He live with it though. That's what I'm talking about. Took the time out to pull up on us, had that conversation real quick. See, because like I said, the first time I went out there, I met him. He was saying, I'm gonna say it was 2010 though, right? We got the year right. 2010 is when we first met, Pop. So it's been 14 years. So yeah, man, in the community, going and meeting the people and the families that give you the opportunity to do so, like I said, it's honor that they let you in and they situations so they can spread the information for people to get more awareness about these things and shouldn't be taken lightly. You know what I mean? So genealogy wise is something that I learned when I went out there because it was something up until that time it didn't dawn and the light bulb went off. Like, so wait a minute. These folk over here talking about 100%. This is 14 years ago. Indian, Moorish, Jews. Oh my! That's what Nine said last time he was on the panel. You know what I mean? That these people are talking about no French, Indian, Marquez. You know what I mean? All the stuff we just showed you earlier. You feel me? So people are got some Creole mix right there, and that's some Creole shit in it. So really, you know what I mean? You got to pay attention to the genealogy and not really be biased to what you find in the mixtures, whatever it is. You can't get caught up in your hypo descent or your hyper descent. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up in the hyper descent. You know what I mean? Because they're both caught up in that mono ideal of you being 100% hyper or hypo. You know what I mean? Descent. It kind of takes away from your doing genealogy in the first place if that's what you buy into, which some of our people have done. You know what I mean? So just take the time and research your family tree. And shout out to get that joint with Opie Mihai, man, and give him Maroon J. And we're going to see y'all next week. We got 9 Ether with us next week, Sunday. Matter of fact, we're running for everybody. And we know it's a popular thing, so we're going to tap in on it right now. So, because we actually have something, and I just think the time is right. You know what I'm saying? 9 Ether is like, yeah, man, we can do it. So I'm like, let's do it. So next week, Sunday, we're doing the Jesus Christ verse, Maran Yahshua HaMashiach. You know what I'm saying? Because, Russia let out all the joints and all that joint like that. And, I want to show some things, and we're going to go through some stuff that's, it's out there. You talking about? Tap in with us next week, Sunday. God. Peace.
Peace, everyone. Welcome back to Tracing Your Roots, Ancestry Research Tips with the Autonomous Party, and I'm Opie Mihai. So if you guys remember on the last video, we talked about primary sources. So one of the primary sources that we spoke about was the census and voters list. So what I wanted to do is jump on the Ancestry real quick, and we're going to go through a feature that's available, which is the card catalog feature. So let's go ahead and click on that. And then when you jump into the card catalog feature, what you should get is some of the new things that they just added, which we're going to go through. And then off here to the side, you got your dates that you can, specifically get into. You also have the location that you can center your search around. So I'm going to do the USA because that's where we're located. And And then you also have the ability to pick particular states that, you know, if you want to pinpoint it even more, to cut down on some of the stuff that's shown over here. So you can see they have all the states and then they have the dates once again. All right, so let's go over here real quick. So some of the new things that they just added recently is going to be the Oklahoma U.S. voters registration records from 1960 to 2023. They also added the North Carolina U.S. voters registration records 1900 to 2023. You got your Florida U.S. voters registration records 1942 to 2023. For anyone who's searching, you know, for indigenous ancestry, we got the Oklahoma and Indian Territory all census freeman rolls from 1898 to 1914 that was just added. We have the Duluth, Minnesota obituary index 1904 to 2023. You also got your Vermont USA Death Index 2008 to 2019. Connecticut U.S. voter registration records 1800 to 2023. And then they just added the Ohio U.S. voters registration records 1900 to 2023. So let's just look through some of this so that you guys can kind of see what's available. We have the 1950 United States Federal Census. Let's go down a little bit more. We have the Eastern Cherokee Indian Reservation rolls, 1848 to 1970. So this should be the North Carolina Cherokees. We also got the 1940 United States Federal Census is listed. We have the New York U.S. orphans placed in New York, Foundling Hospital and Children's Aid Society, 1855 to 1925. So that might be a big help to some people.
This could take quite a bit of time.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke but a pair of races? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments, tribe to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Esther Lucy. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces the same color the European. Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine.